Hello, this is Johnny.
And this is Kyle.
And we are the 10 out of 10ers. Before we start with this podcast, I need to clarify something. My roommate is not Ethan, it's Kyle. He got real sad when he wasn't my roommate in the last video I put out. And he didn't change his name, well, at least not to my knowledge, not legally.
Nope.
Anyway, let's just jump into it.
I like that.
All right, first of all, we have a little funsies. We're going to talk about something that is just a little thought provoker. So, for both of us, it's going to be, what is the most useless app you could possibly think of making for a phone? Like, I've heard of some like, stuff that weighs. Like, you put it on your phone and it's supposed to weigh it. Or like a pregnancy test.
So you have to pee on your phone?
People do it too. But, okay, if you could design your own, what would yours be?
All right. So the first one that comes to mind was instantly those X-ray tests, the X-ray scanner things that we used to have. I used to have a bunch of those in middle school and be like, "Oh, dude, look, you can see where I cracked my finger 14 years ago and playing soccer." Most useless app. I think the weigher is pretty far up there for that too.
The what?
The scale.
Oh,
I don't know why I said weigher, but that's a thing. The scale's pretty far up there. Oh, man.
Okay. Then moving on to, with the X-ray app, would you make it in-app purchases? Look, we can turn your bones yellow. My bones are yellow.
Press this button to see calcium deficiencies.
Oh, my goodness. He needs some milk.
Lord, help me.
Okay, so funsies kind of out of the way. Moving on, this is going to be kind of like an interview type podcast thing that we're going to be doing. And we're going to do another one on the MrJoeCrusher channel that I run.
Yep.
Just to kind of get more support for this one. So all the podcasts that we're going to do from here on out are going to be on this channel, other than the introductory one that's in the MrJoeCrusher.
Yep.
So for this introductory one, we're going to be focusing on Kile, and I have 3 interview questions that I want to just kind of like help you guys get to know who he is.
It's all about me.
Yeah, it is. So, let's begin. Interview question 1. Tell me about a time when you had to overcome a major obstacle that stood in the way of you accomplishing a goal or commitment.
Wow.
How did you approach the situation?
Okay. Wow. What an in-depth and almost job interviewee question.
Yeah, I just looked up questions online, and like it was like the top 10 ones you need to ask for any job. I was like, oh, like if I'm gonna hire somebody. And the other 2 were me, so I just figured that this would be a funny one to do.
Okay. So immediately, things that come to mind. For those of you who don't know, I've got the worst knees since Derrick Rose. About 19,000 ligaments in his knee. So something that comes to mind without like telling you all the sob stories in the world was when I was in high school, my senior year. I blew out my knee, and I was getting scholarship offers. One in particular down to Chicago, but I wound up losing my scholarship because of my knee. And then that's why I'm here at Maranatha, actually.
Okay.
That is why I'm here, is that basketball was my choice. Maranatha was my like 4th choice, something like that, for basketball. So definitely overcoming that in rehab. If you've ever been through rehab for any sort of serious surgery or serious injury or anything like that, it is possibly the worst thing known to man. It'll undoubtedly teach you that you have way more strength built in you than you actually possibly knew, but also it'll teach you a different side and a different character that you never thought you had, for sure.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think of stuff like that I went through. I broke my wrist twice, but it was like a bone in my wrist. Here's the thing. It was a bone in my wrist where you had to have the arm, like the cast. I had a cast on, and it went all the way up to my shoulder. Yeah,
for your
a
wrist?
bone in my wrist. It's called your scaphoid. So look that up, kids. Or intelligent listeners, Look that up. Your scaphoid. It's like the tiniest bone in your wrist, but if you break it, you have to have it replaced, and like, it's a whole deal. But I didn't have to get it replaced. But yeah, arm cast twice, and it was like the dumbest thing for like 7 weeks. It was the worst.
So you lucked out twice.
Yes.
By breaking your scaphoid twice.
Yeah, in the right places.
In the right places both times. And didn't have to have surgery either time.
Yeah, there's only one blood vessel that runs through your scaphoid into your wrist, and I didn't end up like severing it.
That is the most Jonny thing I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah, I don't know, it was crazy. Like, but it was fine. I've been fine. All right, so next up, the second question, I came up with this one, so don't even worry.
Oh.
How did your upbringing lead you to where you are now? And were there any major steps that you look along the way and say, like, that was a defining moment in who I am?
Wow. Okay. So how did my upbringing lead me to where I'm at right now?
Yeah, well, you kind of alluded to it with the basketball thing.
Sure. Yeah, my church that I came from before here, it was very tied into this school, this Maranatha where I'm at right now. Mm-hmm. Very tied in. My pastor's on the board. My youth pastor went and got his degree here. I mean, my pastor's son is my dorm soup. So everything along the line was kind of pointing me to Maranatha, even though I was like completely hard set against going to Maranatha because I just didn't want to. Because I didn't really think I wanted to go to a Christian school, but the Lord works in mysterious ways. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I was completely set up against it. But as far as basketball-wise, I have had a basketball in my hand since I was 2, I think. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's pictures of me in the crib with a basketball in my hands. So, in that aspect, literally my entire life has been sports, basketball. Now I'm playing baseball. Hopefully, knock on wood for the team. I'm not going to knock on wood, so I don't want to blow your eardrums out. But, yeah, honestly. And as far as just one specific point, obviously the knee was a huge, like, just turning point in my life. And then the 2 other times that it happened. Oops. So it was a big turning point in my life. And then... yeah, just the knee, I would say, was the huge one directional point in my life that I was like, okay, going to where I'm at right now. And should I talk about how I got into music a little bit too with that?
Yeah, so I have the third question, but you can just go ahead and get into it.
You want to read it for him?
Yeah, I'll read it. So why do you pursue music? If you had any big goal with it, what would that goal be? And then where do you want the channel to go? The 10 out of 10ers one.
Oh, okay. Let's dissect this piece by piece.
Yep.
So the first part is why pursue music. Mm-hmm. Why do I pursue music? You know what? That's funny because I really started getting into it about a year and a half ago. I really started writing my own music and stuff like that. I got my first guitar. It would be 2 years ago in May. Now I got my first guitar, but. That's crazy. I've never really thought about like why I've pursued music before, but I think it's always been like an escape for me. Just it's gonna sound very cliche, so I'm sorry for the ear cringe that you're about to hear. But music has always been like the things that you can't say always through words for me. I could plunk out 4 chords right now on my guitar, and he's getting the guitar.
I'm getting the guitar. Do it.
Plug out 4 chords on a guitar, and it'll tell you a story. And I've always been a fan of just, especially with guitar, it's such a portable instrument, and everyone recognizes it so quickly. Mm-hmm. That.
Yeah, you could be some guy on the street, but if you have a guitar, then you're an entertainer. Somewhat, like if you're good, then you can.
Right, and music has just always been the thing that I've never quite like, oh yes, I want to do that full time. Excuse me, I'm getting to that point now, but it's always like, even in church, I've been on stage since I was probably since I could talk, and there's a lot of embarrassing videos that my parents and grandparents have of me swinging golf clubs around for the 12 Days of Christmas thing, and it was really embarrassing, dude.
I need to see those.
No, they will burn in fire.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of embarrassing stuff. All right, second part of that question.
Yeah, second part is, if you had a big goal, like with music, what do you want? Because you alluded to it, that you were kind of like thinking, hey, you know, I'm kind of getting to the point where I want to do this as a thing. All
right, big goal. Honestly, I'm a little torn on this. I've talked to you before about this, but I'll let the listeners know as well. I would really love writing music full time.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I think this is appropriate to toot my own horn a little bit. So choo choo. But I think I have a little bit better understanding of chord progressions and melodies and harmonies than the average Joe. And I like to think that I'm unique with chord progressions and harmonies, especially when it comes to writing original stuff. And I'll just add stuff that like catches the eye a little bit more, and things like that. So big goal would be writing music full time. I'm not entirely sure if I want to be in the limelight the entire time, like singing. Definitely would not mind it.
Yeah.
But I think I just might be a little bit more called for writing originals for people.
So, just got a call, and I thought my phone was on silent, but it started vibrating, so I had yeah. But it's fine. Everything's fine. Don't even. How are you? So last part of that would be, where do you want this channel to go? You know, like, do you have any? Because I have a vague idea of where I think I would like it to go.
Okay. And this is the 10 out of 10ers channel.
This is the 10 out of 10ers one. So like for my MrJoeCrusher one, it's more of like a recreation. I put whatever I want on there. It's not very focused. But the 10 out of 10ers one, it's gonna be like us, you know.
Right.
And where I would see it going later would be if you found anyone else that you like wanted to do the music with, because I'm gonna be gone. If you guys didn't know, I'm gonna be gone after this semester from from college. So if you had somebody else to do it with, then it'd be cool to see the progression of that, you know, even if it were you posting it on your own, and then you just turn the S at the end to an R, another one. 10 out of 10
Wizard.
nerds.
That's a wizard. Tenor.
No, but like, I guess what would your be?
My B.
What's your idea?
I do like that. However, I will be sad to see you go, and it might take a little bit of mourning after you're gone to start it up. Maybe possibly with somebody else, but we'll see. I'm not gonna choke up thinking about it. It's fine. But yeah, I would really like, while we're here, while you still have one semester left, to just kind of crank and just like do songs that we both just love, and maybe not sound necessarily the best, but we have fun recording them.
Yeah.
And like end goal, I would just love to produce music for whoever wants to see it and listen to it and hear it, and that's really always been my goal. We started this channel for fun, and I think this podcast is just us getting up here and laughing and talking about stupid stuff. So
yeah, well, like yep.
Yeah, just end goals would just be whoever wants to hear the music, whoever wants to listen to us talk for going on 15 minutes now, 14 minutes actually. I can't read, but whoever wants to hear it, whoever wants to listen to it, would be like, that'd be awesome. So again, this channel's all about fun, and sometimes we take it a little bit too seriously, but it's about fun. So,
all right, do you have any song that you're particularly like working on, or chord progression or anything?
Oh man, I've got a couple. Just depending on which ones to play you. So I've written a couple. We're working on one. We'll I think I don't want to say that one just yet because it's a little bit more serious, and I like to do it well the first time I air it.
Absolutely. That's it's one of those songs that you want to do it right. You want to do it justice.
It's dealing with a little bit more of a serious matter.
Yeah.
So when it comes out, I need it to be just right. I need it to be at the right tone and be sensitive to the right people. I've got one that I'm working on that I got the idea from my friend Savannah. So Savannah, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry for calling you out on the podcast.
It's too late.
But it's already done now. So she's heard it multiple times. So let me scoot back so I'm not cranking on the mic a little bit. Never had trouble making up my mind.
Wah wah wah.
Two different people enter my life. This one, that one, I can't decide. Two different people try to steal my heart at the same time. Whoa. And then it goes like that, and it gets a little jammy, but it's not all the way rock, because that would not be MBU.edu approved, Jonathan.
That's right, it wouldn't be.
Wow.
So, yeah, we're pretty much, it's just a little preview of something that he's working on, something that I'm working on. I kind of did a song for my lady friend, and it was very nice.
Yeah.
And so now I've already played that like in person on the piano for quite a few people.
I also wrote a song for my lady friend, but shh.
Oh, snap. Well, I think we're actually going to end it there. Yep. I mean, hey. 17 minutes isn't bad. But, well, thank you for doing this interview with me, Kyle.
Thanks for interviewing me, Jonathan.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the next time. And I'll subscribe and like the video. Share it if you want with your friends. But maybe, yeah, Okay.
10 out of 10ers out.